Would you consider dating a guy who did not pay for you on the first date?
I would never go out with him again. Because if they can't spoil you when you're dating them, it's only going to go get worse from there.
True that. Is there a minimum amount of money you like to be spent on a first date or a minimum amount of niceness
No,
meeting for coffee at Starbucks? Is that an acceptable first date or no?
this is what I feel about guys that only want to do coffee date. I feel like they don't know if I'm worth investing in. And so that isn't like it's like an icky feeling because he doesn't think I'm worth the effort and the time to do more than that. I'm good, oh, well, she's good for an hour. That's the vibe it gives off to me, whether it's true or not. That's the vibe it gives off to me. And when men really like a woman, they tend to put more effort into giving her an experience. Think of anything you've ever wanted in your life. Don't you put more effort into what you truly want?
Let me ask you this. Let's say then a guy asks you to drinks at
Mhm.
like some bar. How do you feel about that?
That's fine because I like getting dressed up and going to the bar.
Okay,
It
so if
just
it's like kind of a wine bar, it's okay, but not like a dive bar.
I just think that isn't a very gentleman type of man to ask a lady to go to a dive bar. I mean, not for a first date. He would want to protect her. So I've actually had gone out with men and the places around here, they would go, "Oh my gosh, you shouldn't be in these places. You're too good for these places." So, the men that really are out to provide and protect a woman, they are careful about the places they ask her to go to.
I'm going to give you some examples of potential first dates that a guy may ask you on, and you
Sure.
tell me if you would or would not go on the date, and then also rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. Okay.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Hey, let's go get dinner at Benny's.
That would be my response.
Is that,
And I would still be laughing. That would be my response. It's a
is it
1.
it's a 1? Okay.
I have never eaten at Denny's in my life. I'll go to IHOP.
IHOP's higher than Denny's. That's why I chose Denny's. I wanted to
Oh.
start at the bottom. I didn't want to start one step up. Hey, let's go get dinner at Chili's.
Okay.
Damn, that was a big change. Look at that. No. All right. What's on a 1 to 10? What is it?
I would say it's a 3.
Okay. Well, at least we got a low threshold for the yeses. That's at least good. Hey, let's go get dinner at Outback Steakhouse.
All right, I like that.
What
I'll get a
number?
blackberry martini. I already know what my drink's going to be. Yeah, so that one I'll give an 8.
Drink at Starbucks. We already kind of talked about this a little bit, but
it's not it's not as bad as Denny's, but like I said, that's a that's a meet. I don't a
well,
drink at
that's fine.
Starbucks isn't a
Yeah,
date to me. Yeah,
you can call it a meet, but I'm saying, would you meet the person?
sure. Yeah, why not? They're
What's
just
the
testing the waters.
what's the number on a
I
one to
just
ten?
feel with when they just want to go to Starbucks or something that they're just testing the waters with me. They're not all in.
Okay. And what number would you give that?
Ooh, 3.
Meet at Panera Bread.
I've actually done that one. I'll give that a 3 too.
Drinks at a dive bar.
3.
Would you do that?
I might if it's close to the house.
Drinks at a wine bar.
That one's there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't drink wine.
Dave and Buster's.
That just seems kind of a date for when you're younger. I might go. I don't think it's a sexy date, so it's not like a date I could like wear a sexy dress and heels. So it'd probably be more like a date where I'd wear leggings or something. So obviously the type of guy I'm gonna vibe with is somebody that's more romantic and sexy.
A pool hall or a bar that has pool tables.
Possibly. I could get in the mood for that.
But that is a
As long as there's
maybe.
no smoking. If there's smoking, I can't go into a smoke bar, a bar where people smoke.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Axe throwing.
A guy already has asked me for that date. The same guy kept asking me for an axe throwing date like 3 weekends in a row. And I kept saying no, no, no.
Well, is that because it was the guy, or is that because you have a no to axe throwing?
Both.
Okay. And how would you rate that 1 to 10?
1. It's
Wow. Like a Denny's.
well, okay, because he obviously isn't taking in who I am. When I write in my profile, I make it obvious I'm a girly girl. And almost all my pictures, I'm wearing a going out dress and heels. It's like obvious who I am. And that isn't paying attention to who I am. I'm not a girl that puts on jeans and a flannel and goes and throws axes. I can barely pick up a case of water. I need someone to help me with a Zephyr Hills case of water. Please.
Okay, so that's interesting. You're not necessarily saying it's a bad date. You're just saying it's a mismatched date. It's a bad date for you. And that shows that he's not paying attention to your pictures and profile.
Yes, he's not paying attention to what kind of woman I am. And there are women that love those dates. I mean, there's women I know that say, oh, he took me out on an axe throwing date. It was so much fun. So there are women that love that. And I'm just not a woman that loves that. And there's men who like women that wear heels. I wear heels. And then there's women that don't like to wear heels. There's women that don't
They like to throw axes.
They would rather be throwing axes in their boots.
Mini golf.
Gosh, when I last do that, I think I last did that with my kids. It's not something I really like, but I mean, it's something you could do, walk around, talk, and get to know each other. So as long as the mosquitoes aren't out, I'll do it. It doesn't like make me excited.
Going for a hike.
You know what? The thing with that for a first date, that can be kind of creepy because you're being separated from, you're not like out in the open.
Well, you're too much out in the open.
Well, yeah, I mean, like there's no other people around.
So this next one is similar to nobody can hear you scream. Going over to a guy's place and he cooks dinner for you.
Definitely no.
Would a guy just asking that be a red flag?
I wouldn't say it's a red flag. I just feel a lot of women are okay with that. So men have received maybe positive results with other women. So they think possibly it would be a positive result with me. But if I politely decline and then they offer me another option that I feel safer about, then, I'll go out with them with another option. But I feel it's never a good idea to go to a man's place on a first or second, even a third date, because they only want one thing.
Bowling.
No, I'll tell him I'm busy.
So when you said you tell him you're busy, if a guy does offer you a date that you don't like, will you tell him you're busy or tell him no or whatever? Or will you tell him, I'd rather not do that? Like, I'd rather do something else.
Usually they say, "Would you like to do such and such?" And I go, "No, not really." But I don't tell them something else because it's not up for me to tell the man what to do. So he can offer me another choice or not, but I don't tell him, "No, take me here instead." I don't do that. Usually men know I would rather do something else and then they offer me something else. That's how it usually goes.
If a guy does ask you first, what would you like to do, as opposed to just recommending something, is that a turn off in any way? Do you think that that shows a lack of masculinity or anything, or do you not care?
That actually does not show, that's not lack of masculinity at all when they ask what I like because they don't know me, and so they're getting to know me, and, in the beginning stages, they're gonna ask what you like, and then once you're in a relationship or dating a while, they know. You go to a this is so sexy, by the way. Here's a good tip. When you're dating someone and they already know exactly what you eat, at least it's sexy for me. They know exactly what you eat, exactly what you drink, and you go sit at the bar or at the table and he orders it for you. And you could go to the restroom and come back and it's already there for you. Ah, I love it. My husband did that. My ex did that. Because I'm pretty simple as far as I got my certain favorite things, and I really don't stray too much from what I like. So it after a while, you pretty much know, what I like, and then they always get it for me, and I just think that's the sweetest, sweetest thing ever, and it's just so sexy. It's like my man knows what I want, and he orders it for me. And yeah, and I could just sit back and he's got it all covered. And then he'll notice my drink. "You want another drink?" And then he'll cause the server, the bartender over to get me another drink, and then he gets me water. Uh, that is all super, super sexy.
I'm gonna ask maybe a dumb question. What is sexy about that? If you could go like a level deeper, I'm guessing it represents something to you.
It makes me feel safe and loved and adored and paid attention to, and just thinking about it makes my heart feel so full and warm, just having that memory.
So the first thing you said was safe.
Mhm.
So when a guy takes control like that, where he knows what you want, he takes control of the situation, even though it's a relatively small thing, to you, that is a representation of his ability to provide safety for you and take care of you in general life. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes.